Yes, yes, yes! I'm so glad I was able to get a Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Thought I was gonna have to prostitute myself up to a scalper. Good thing going to Target like 30 minutes before they opened was good enough, cause my supple little body wouldn't have been able to handle it. I guess let's start off with Sunset Riders. Where is it? Huh. Yeah, I guess it's not on there. Alright, how about Super Mario All-Stars?
No!
Turtles in Time?
No!
Zombies Ain't My Neighbors?
No!
Super Mario Odyssey?
Fuck!
Ah, carp. Man, I love this thing, but I wish there was a way I could get more games on it, and it doesn't have an internet connection, so it looks like I'm not gonna be able to.
But Cameron, you could always illegally mod it.
What? No. No. That is despicable, disgusting, and just underhanded and scummy. I can't even think of enough words to describe that. I would never, ever stoop so low to do something as to mod this SNES Classic Edition. That's right, as soon as the software is available, I'm gonna mod my SNES Classic Edition, and so should you. Before I begin, let me just say that for 21 HD Super Nintendo games on a pretty looking collectible console with 2 controllers, cool filters, a neat menu, save states, and the option to rewind gameplay is easily worth $80. That being said though, I still think narrowing the Super Nintendo library down to 21 games is doing fans a disservice. Dang it. So like always, I went to Nintendo HQ to give them a piece of my mind, and I was able to coerce a nice employee into officially upgrading my SNES Mini.
More.
Sadly, I didn't make it out of the building, but hey, I tried doing things a legitimate way, so now I'm gonna have to take it upon myself and mod this bad boy as soon as I'm able to. Dang it! I know it'll make the console less official and collectible, and some may say that if I'm gonna compromise the legitimacy of the micro SNES, then I might as well just use an emulator, but I just think this thing's too cool. It'd be more practical to get a Raspberry Pi emulator which can play most retro consoles and hold their complete libraries, but I like having the SNES Mini on display, plus the controller's spot on, and like I said before, the menus are fun. I still don't have an NES Mini, so obviously that means I didn't mod one either, but after coming to the realization that my baby SNES was missing too many essentials, I looked into how difficult it would be to mod it, and at least for the NES Classic Edition, it looks easier than buttering my buns. You just plug the USB into your computer, download a program, and drag the ROM files of whatever games you want to play into the folder. And you'd think doing this would make the menu look bootlegged, but from what I've seen, everything looks pretty good. The box art's there, and you can still use save states. So if there's no risk of breaking your system, then why shouldn't you mod your mini console? I mean, it is illegal, but I'm good friends with Reggie-san, and he said it'd be okay for me and anyone watching this video to do so. But nobody else, so don't get any funny ideas, people who aren't even watching right now. And besides, I already own physical copies of most of the good Super Nintendo games anyway, so frig off. I understand Nintendo would have to charge way more money to include more third-party games for this to be profitable, even though the NES Classic was cheaper and had more third-party games, so okay, Nintendo's greedy and or cheap. But even so, getting the rights to games like Turtles in Time and X-Men would cost way too much. So either way, we'd still be short on some essentials. And since Nintendo legally can't put certain games on here even if they wanted to, that's all the more reason to justify a modification. We can't even support the original creators to a lot of these games anyway, so why not just break the law? Ah, dang it. Plus, we're not gonna see an official release for a lot of great Japanese exclusives that fans already translated into English for free. So how can we even legally support games like that and play them in English? We can't, dummy. So why not just play fan-translated games on your SNES Classic if you can? The only way to experience fan-translated Super Famicom games other than modding an SNES Classic is to use an emulator on your computer, buy repros, or just miss out on them altogether. I do appreciate that we got Star Fox 2 though, but if it's morally okay to get fan-translated reproduction carts, and yeah, I know it really isn't, then why can't I just drag a few ROMs over? Repros are expensive, man. And despite not having a good reason, I just don't like emulators, even though that's all the SNES Classic really is. Again though, it's official and sexy. In fact, it's so sexy that it's a shame the cartridge slots don't even open. If the eShop were compatible, I'd totally download games legally, but it's not and I can't. So quit breaking my balls, N-Dog, and don't blame me for enhancing the SNES Classic Edition. Dang it. If they didn't want us modding it, then they wouldn't have made the software so easy to hack, nor would they have left so much extra storage available. Even though the Super Nintendo game files are almost as small as my crumb of a penis. So now that the ethical question of whether or not you should mod your SNES Classic Edition's been answered, there is still the matter of what games you should toss in the mix. The American Super Nintendo has 721 games, while the Japanese Super Famicom has 1,447 games, with only a small chunk of them being translated into English by fans. And I don't know about you, but that's just way too much shit for me to even want to deal with. I mean, after all, I'd feel like a dumbass navigating the menu for like an hour to even find what I actually wanted to play. So for me personally, I'm only gonna add good games, and I'm gonna keep the number to around 100. The main games I'll be adding are the standard ones, so if I were to list them all here, the video would become boring and dragged out pretty damn quick. So without going over the obvious choices, I'll just talk about a few lesser known games that I'm excited for, which are mainly whatever fan-translated ROMs I can get a hold of, like all the RPGs and anime games I'll never get to play otherwise without buying repros in a brown paper bag from sketchy dudes in back alleys at gaming conventions, and the Firemen. Dang it! I've wanted to play that for years. Also, Super Back to the Future 2, of course, which we didn't get in the US for some reason. But like I said, I'm not gonna ramble on about what 100-ish games I'll eventually put on my tiny SNES. So let me know in the comments below, did you get an SNES Classic Edition? Do you want to mod it? What games will you add to it? And most importantly, let me know of any good homebrews, fan-translated, or modded games for the SNES that I might not know about. And as always, I'll pin whatever comment I enjoy the most. Don't forget to like and share this video, and if you're super badass, press the subscribe button. My name's Cameron, and I'll see you next time.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty. Thank you for your support.